Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of An Unlikely Friendship, the podcast. This is episode 6, you guys. We're almost halfway to our original goal, you know?
It's still our goal, 13 episodes. We can do it.
We'll see about that, but I'm not Matt, I'm Katie.
Yes, and I'm Matt. You can tell it's already quite late when we're starting this recording.
I'm losing my mind. Also, literally this weekend, I've had to wake up early both days to go out and do stuff, and I'm just so exhausted.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we are gonna just sort of talk about exercise.
Yes, because Katie wants to share about her Fitbit and her
My
exciting stories.
Journey. Yeah. So I guess, yeah. Do you want to start? I don't know. I think maybe just recently, it goes along with me sort of getting over the whole doing nothing for the last couple of months and just starting to do things that I'm just I guess ever since I got my Fitbit around my birthday, which it's only been a month since I've had it now actually, but I have been way more consistent with my exercising.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know where to start with this fitness journey.
All right, well, why don't I start it then, okay? So back in when I moved to Mississauga, I made it my goal to go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. And I was doing actually really well. I think I went up until Corona shut down all the gyms. And now I'm kind of lost it. So I don't work out nearly as much as I used to. Yeah, so before I used to go to the gym for 2 to 3 hours, kind of a week. So every time I go to the gym, I'll try to go for at least an hour. But once coronavirus closed everything, I just haven't gone. So I started running for a while there. And it was going pretty well, but then it started getting really, really hot. So right now, I think even right now, it's 30 degrees and it's 2 a.m. So it's so goddamn hot.
What the hell? It's that hot even at night? Because over here, even when it's 30 degrees in the daytime, it gets down to
let me actually take a look.
at nighttime and a nice, cool, comfortable temperature. But then, it's still hot in the house. But
yeah, I just checked. It said it was 23 degrees, but I think at least here always it says feels and it's always 5 degrees higher than it is. Just I think it's because of our humidity. But yeah, it's just miserable. I'm not running at 2 a.m. either, right? I try to aim for 5 or 6 o'clock. But yeah, it's just so hot. It's so hard to breathe.
Go at 5 a.m.
No,
I've done it a few times over the last few months, and I actually really enjoy it. It's a good time.
I won't be able to wake up at 5 a.m. to run. I'm not staying up till 5 a.m. to run like you do. So yeah, that's kind of my fitness journey right now. I've definitely slowed down a bit. I'm trying to keep it up, but this week I haven't run.
You also stopped for a bit in the middle because of allergies, right?
Oh, right, yeah. So I stopped running for 2 weeks just because, yeah, it wasn't worth it. I'd run for maybe 4 kilometers, and then the next 5 hours I'd just be sniffly, and it wouldn't go away until I go to sleep. And I didn't buy any allergy meds because I'm generally not allergic to things. Last summer was when I first realized I was allergic to something because I was also going on runs, but yeah, I went on a run last week and it was fine. So I'm trying to get back into it. But yeah, I don't even like running though. That's the thing.
Running's hard.
Yeah, we've been talking about that where it's just kind of I just don't get any joy from running. Maybe the first 2 minutes, I'm wow, this is pretty nice. But after the first 2 minutes, I'm okay, I'm ready to stop.
No, but so I actually use, yeah, Matt runs and he doesn't really use anything to track it. He doesn't time himself or anything. But when I run, I use something called Strava, which is pretty common. People usually use that to track, people who are into cycling and running, they use that app to track. It does distance, time, and if you have some sort of fitness tracker or watch, it can sync to that and it'll record your heartbeat, like and stuff like that. But I use that app, and I actually remember a couple of weeks ago there was something that popped up on that said like they surveyed a whole bunch of people who run and asked them like why do they do it and stuff. And honestly, I'm pretty sure the thing said like most people actually do not enjoy running, but they just do it. Like they all don't like it, but they literally do it because it's good for them, and like they have a goal, like either to like be healthier or like lose weight or something like that. I think it was like 80% of them don't enjoy running. Like no one likes running, but you just do it.
I also think like another thing is when it gets really hot, I kind of like sweat a lot, even if I'm just sitting. Like I just get really hot. So I feel like that's a workout in itself, you know? Like,
it's not working out just to sit and sweat, Matt.
yeah, but it's so hot. I just feel like I
But
lose calories just from
definitely,
existing.
like when it's hot, it's just even more miserable. Like you just, I could not, no, I wouldn't be able to go for a run if it's like 30 degrees and like sunny out. I would just, like, I'd either wait until it's nighttime when it's cooler.
Yeah,
Although
but you're
I
scared of the
can't do
dark.
that, yeah, because I literally get scared. It's scary. I just feel like someone's gonna jump out of the bushes and attack me or something.
Just for the listeners, Katie's like a 400-pound woman. She's scared.
Excuse me, I'm like a 5 foot, literally barely 5 foot tall, small Asian girl.
Yeah, 400 pounds, 5 foot tall girls.
Is that even possible? How much does the heaviest man weigh?
Oh, dude, I'm pretty sure they like over 1,000 pounds. Like no joke. The heaviest person. Like they're not like they don't really exist as a person. Like they literally just eat. But yeah.
How can you even exist?
I mean, there's TV shows, right? Like My 600-Pound Life or whatever. I don't know if it's still on, but like I know there was a show like that where like their lives are just insane. Like I remember I saw a video where like the guy literally takes a bath in like a kiddie pool because he doesn't fit in the tub.
How can you live like that? Also, don't these people work? Like, how can you work when you can't
I
even
honestly
move?
don't know. Like I honestly don't know. I just remember it was just kind of weird. Like he has to hose himself down. Like he doesn't actually like shower. Hey, dude, you're 600 pounds. Like don't. She's making a face. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's just-
I'm not 600 pounds.
yeah, so
Anyways, I'm at a healthy BMI is all I'll say about that. But anyways, I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
oh wait, one first things first. Last episode, if anyone's listening, I said Tokyo had more population than Canada. I was actually right. Like the metro, like the greater Tokyo area, has around 38 million people, which is
Insane, because that's literally more than the population of freaking Canada.
yeah. I think Canada probably has like 37 million. I don't actually know.
I thought it was like 34.
I think yeah. So we have 37.6.
Wow, grew so much. What
Yeah.
year is that from? 2019?
Yeah, so 2019 we're 37. So maybe we have over 38 million now.
It used to be at 33 million for the longest time, which was literally 10 times less, just about 10 times less than the States.
States.
Wait, oh my God, did you hear? I don't know if it's true. Kanye West is gonna run for president.
Honestly, at this point, like, I don't follow politics, but I'm pretty sure
Oh, no,
politics has just become a joke. Like, like I'm gonna be honest, like, I mean, not like who cares, right? I'm sure some people really care, but it just looking at Donald Trump, like, I obviously don't follow politics, so I can't really say anything. But how did he stay as president for that long? I mean, how can anyone actually think he's a good president? Like, oh yeah, I'm vote for Trump because everything he says, like he just backtracks the next day. I mean,
Also, I mean, I remember when he first actually won that I heard people saying like, oh, maybe he'll get assassinated and stuff. And I'm like, whoa.
I think that's a bit extreme, but seriously, it's just, I cannot believe someone can say all that and like, how can you just trust it? Like, I don't know, whatever. Politics.
Also, though, like Yeah, I don't follow it, and I don't understand because there was this whole thing about like he was under investigation and something about an impeachment, but then like
Yeah.
nothing even happened out of that, so I don't
Yeah,
really
because
understand.
yeah, I heard it was something weird too. Yeah, honestly, we shouldn't talk about politics because I know zero thing.
Same.
Like
Okay, let's move
yeah,
on. But oh, on the topic of like something forgot to mention last week though. Also, I meant to say that, surprisingly, I think Matt mentioned that like from editing he got used to like hearing his own voice. And like I just wanted to mention that like it really happened surprisingly quickly because I think maybe after just editing one episode I was already like it's fine. But like, when you first start, it's definitely
yeah.
like, my God, why do I sound like this? I sound so horrible. Like I
I,
hate listening to this.
I think it's also because back then it's not like it was the first time I listened to my own voice, right? Like we have home videos and stuff, and I'm like, man, I sound weird, right? But I think it's because when you edit, we kind of listen to it over and over again, and it does take quite a long time. So the episode, I just edited episode 5. That took maybe like 3 hours or something. So like listening to our voices for 3 hours, it's very quickly you get used to how we sound. But yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. The other thing though is like I'm totally used to and like listening to my own voice and editing our audio, but we also have like video recordings and those ones I can't really I just find it weird still. I don't know what it is.
well, I mean, I don't normally watch our video ones. Just I think we watched one briefly together for our first one, and yeah, it's just weird. I guess because I don't really focus on what I'm looking at or what I'm doing with my hands. But yeah, it's weird. One day
Yeah.
we'll watch them back and just be like, wow, weird.
Yeah. Anyway, back to exercise. So, what was the last thing we were saying?
I remember the last thing was people don't run because they like it. They just do it for the
Oh,
health
yeah,
based on
man.
running.
Running honestly is hard. Like, I used to tell myself that I liked running, but honestly, I don't think I ever did. I was in cross country in high school for 2 years. The second year, I honestly skipped so many practices, but um, pretty much since high school, I have not run consistently. I'll go for a run like here and there once, like every few months when I'm like, hey, I should go for a run. But it's not until like the last 2 months that I really started running again. And this is the most consistent I've ever been with it. I've been trying to run at least once a week. Initially, it started out just as once a week, and then it turned into at least 5K once a week. Yeah, my goal is to run a 10K run by the end of this month, but honestly, I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
make it.
No, I'll say like when I was running the most was I did the sun run one year.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one I actually would run every week. And like I went out to around I think like 8 kilometers. And before I went for the sun run. And then sun run's obviously well, I mean, for people who don't know, it's 10 kilometers.
Do you remember how long it took you to run the sun run?
A little over an hour.
Yeah, that's
And
about,
like
yeah.
I thought about running it again because I did want to get it under an hour, but the next year I think the early bird went up to like $50, and I was kind of like, I don't think I want to pay $50 to run 10 kilometers. You do get like a nice little shirt, but
Like, does the money go towards something like a cancer
I
research or
think it
something like
does
that?
maybe, but it also is because they keep track of your time, and like they give you a shirt with has some sort of like barcode something, so like you can when you run through checkpoints it kind of tells you your time and stuff. But yeah, I mean it just to me at least I did it once, so I was like, okay, I don't think I need to do it again. But it is definitely a good experience. I think it is at least the biggest 10K run in Canada.
Hmm.
So like it was interesting because before that I was just training with my girlfriend, so it was just kind of the two of us running. But when you're running with so many people, it does motivate you a lot longer. So
That's the thing about races, though. Like, we were just talking about this. It's the thing about running on your own is there's sort of a lack of motivation, and like running is so much a mental game because like that's sort of really what just stops you from running endurance wise anyway. It's like there's nothing stopping you except you telling yourself like, oh God, this sucks, like this is so hard, like I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to stop. So pretty much like if you want to run distance, you just kind of have to like tell yourself like, no, I got to keep going until I make it to the end kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know. I have this friend. He actually does normally run marathons. I don't know if it's that he actually enjoys running, but like I just saw him a couple days ago, and apparently he runs like at least like 4 times a week. Normally, like he was running every single day, and he'll run at least 5K each time. He literally, so all the big marathons are canceled because of COVID-19 this year, but they're basically like, oh, we can do a virtual marathon, which is basically like you can run a marathon alone on your own time whenever you want. So like a full marathon is 42 kilometers. He ran that a couple weeks ago. That was like, I forgot how long it took him, but it was like at least 4 hours of running.
Yeah.
It was like,
And I think that's actually a pretty
the-
decent time, isn't it? Like for
It's really
average
fast,
person.
yeah.
Like obviously if you're comparing the world record, I forgot his name, but he ran it under 2 hours. And like that's actually an insane pace.
42 kilometers in under 2 hours?
Yeah, like that's the world record. Like someone managed to do it. And it was insane. I watched a video and some guy was trying to run at the pace he was running. It's pretty much a dead sprint. It's not like a jog. He's actually like, it's so fast, and he had to run that for a solid 2 hours, and that was just insane.
How is that possible? So I took a kin class, right? And I remember learning like when you exercise and stuff, depending on like what type of exercise you're doing and stuff, it requires different systems in your body. And then like when it comes to cardio, I can't quite remember, but it's like normally people get tired and they run out of energy, a certain type of energy, which is why it's really hard to keep going, and like lactic acid builds up and stuff. But there's this one guy we learned that like his body for some reason like lacks some sort of thing or something like that, where he literally can keep going because his body like doesn't produce lactic acid or something like that, and it skips some phase that is what makes normal people burn out, and so he can literally just keep going. It's really weird.
Like he can just keep running
yeah,
forever.
and he doesn't get tired, and he can literally just keep going forever. Like it's so bizarre.
Yeah, in that case, it's probably 100% just a mental game where he's like, you know, I'm just gonna keep running until I'm like. But yeah, no, like definitely like 2 hours for a marathon is insane. Like I think 4 hours is already really good. I mean, for my 10K, right, I was an hour and a bit. Like multiply that by 4, and it's probably gonna actually take me like 5 hours. Like at that rate I was going, like I'd actually have to train a lot more. But
yeah, I mean, let me see if I can actually just find his. I think he posted it on Facebook. I want to see what his actual time was. Like, I honestly don't think I could ever run 42 kilometers. I don't even know if I could walk 42 kilometers. That's far.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where even if I could do it, I think I would be so bored. I'm already bored in like a 5K run. It's just so boring. It's just, you just keep going until it's like, okay, well.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, it was 42 kilometers, but he took 5 hours and 47 minutes, but that's an average pace of about 8 minutes per kilometer. But I mean, it's different. You can't have such a fast pace when you're running such a long distance, right? That's just insane.
No, I mean, it's still impressive just to run it, but like, I don't exactly remember the times, but I think to qualify for the Boston Marathon or something, you need to, I want to, they do it in miles. So it's a marathon's 26 miles, I think. I want to say it's like 5 minutes a mile or something. It's pretty fast. Like how fast you have to, is that reasonable? But yeah, like I think you have to be around like 2.5 hours or something to qualify. It's just really fast. Like,
wait, is the Boston Marathon a full like 40? Oh, it is. Yeah, you said 26.
It's Boston Marathon. At least I assume. Like once again, not a huge sports person, so don't exactly know the exact times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, like he burned like obviously it's an estimate, but he burned over 3,000 calories from that freaking 5-6 hour run of 42
If anything, that just
kilometers.
showcases how hard it is to burn calories.
Honestly, yeah, it's
Yeah, like
very
you
hard.
run for 6 hours and like bam, you burn 3,000 calories. It's like, okay, well, on a normal day, I definitely don't run 42 kilometers. So like,
Also, on a side note, though, I remember when Matt was telling his story earlier, it reminded me that, like, he just showed me he has quite the t-shirt tan, but he's like not even. I don't even understand. He's only outside for when he like walks to the bus, which is like a 10-minute walk or something. I don't understand how you're so tan from that.
I don't actually even see it too much.
I
Like
can
it's not.
see like not obviously like a clear line, but it's
I
no,
think it's more
there's
noticeable on this arm.
like I can see it's where his bicep starts. There's like it's so much more pale where his shoulder is.
But yeah, I mean, you shouldn't judge me for who I am.
Yeah, meanwhile, I got a freaking sunburn today. Like, I don't my
What?
knee kind of hurts, but I don't know
Just for
how.
everyone's like who's listening, she didn't wear any sunscreen, so I mean, obviously you'll get burnt. I mean, if you're outside in the sun all day, you're pretty much asking for it.
I'm not okay, but to be fair, like I honestly, up until this point, like when I was a kid, I used to like spend like a decent amount of time outside in the sun, and I wouldn't always put sunscreen on. And I remember maybe when I was like 13, I went to Vegas with my. That sounds weird to say, but I went to Vegas with my mom and my sister when I was 13. Obviously, I couldn't. We just like
Do
sight
anything?
see,
Yeah.
yeah, like you watch some shows and like hang out by the hotel pool and stuff. And I remember there was one day we spent like several hours out in the hotel pool, and the sun there is like pretty strong, like in Vegas. And like I can't remember if I put sunscreen or not, but like I just remember I used to just spend a lot of time outside, and even if I didn't put on sunscreen, I would just like I wouldn't burn. I would just turn really, really dark. Like I would just tan and I'd
I
be
bet
so
you your mom
brown.
made you put sunscreen on. If your mom's anything like my mom.
That time probably, yeah. But like
Yeah.
even like I'm pretty sure there was instances like I just never really burned before. And then like the first time I got in a sunburn that I could remember ever was last year, and I got a very small like partial sunburn, and it didn't really hurt or anything. It just got a bit red. But yeah, today I went crabbing. We didn't catch any crabs, and I got a freaking parking fine. And also,
It's your
I
own
got
fault though.
yeah, I got sunburns on my arms and my legs. They're all red now. Hopefully, I hope it's not bad enough that it peeled or anything. But
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
have
peeling
no
is when it looks kind of gross. Like when you're red, it's kind of like whatever. But
but
peeling is kind of yeah,
like the worst thing is usually that it hurts for people, doesn't it? But like
yeah.
so far,
Like I told Katie this before, but I only sunburnt like once, but it didn't really hurt. I just kind of peeled. Like my back was just gross. But yeah.
Uh, wait, why did you say you would roll up your sleeves just so that your shoulders get tan?
Yeah, and so like it makes that like t-shirt tan less noticeable if I can somehow tan like my shoulders as well.
Yeah,
But
but
Katie said I look like a douche.
he said he thinks he looks like a douche, and I disagreed because, yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he should walk around looking.
Bring it. Just gonna leave it like this for the rest of the day.
God, why don't you just cut off the sleeves on one of your shirts then?
I actually thought about buying like a tank top, but I was just like, I think, at least personally, I don't think I look good in one. And it's like, what am I gonna do? Wear it to lab? Like, it's just not gonna be like a normal thing. So whatever. I'll just
Okay.
roll up my sleeves for now. Let my artificial light tan my shoulders.
I guess actually for you, you did Taekwondo for like you were an active kid.
I wouldn't say I was an active kid. I started when I was like grade 11, and I went on until like second year. So like 3.5 years, I think, is like how long I did it for.
Okay. Because like for sure, you know, some people like they used to like they've always played sports or something, and they've always been like actually active. Like they've always played soccer or something since they were a kid, and they continued that. But like literally for me, I was never like I did dancing. I don't know. Some people don't consider that a sport. So like that's pretty much, I danced, but I never played soccer or
Mhm.
anything. So it's like I was never actively like really exercising. I never did a sport exactly. And it's weird though because I always felt like I was pretty physically capable for like my size and stuff. Like because I remember back in high school, I went with some friends and we did the grouse grind, and honestly, I beat most of them to the top. And like I've always been like not active, but like pretty capable and like relatively fit, considering like I don't really work out or anything like that. So like for me, I've never worked out. Like I've never gone to a gym and worked out. I still don't know. I've been to a
Oh,
gym. Oh
you,
my God, should I tell this story?
you have to tell the story. Yeah. Wait, before we get into that, I'd say it's similar. Like I've never really done too many sports, especially I've never done any team sports. I mean, I met my best friend because we both did wrestling in middle school. So I did wrestling for 7, 8, and also a little bit of grade 9. And then I stopped until grade 11. Guess what?
I'm raising my hand, FYI. I do that sometimes because I don't want to just cut in. Is wrestling not a team sport?
No, it's like a one-on-one competition, right? I mean, we did, like our points got pooled together to see which um, like school would win. But I'd never consider those team sports. I consider like soccer, basketball, those things
Yeah.
are team because you actually play together. But wrestling, like obviously you train together, right? But at the end of the day, you only need to beat one person, right? So it's not. Yeah, and then when I started doing taekwondo, that's also very individual. But I don't know. I always preferred that over team sports. Just yeah.
You're not a team player, Matthew?
I didn't like the whole atmosphere of like team sports because there's gonna be like weaker links and also like
You
stronger.
didn't want to be a weak link.
Like I didn't want to be a weak link, but also I didn't want to have the option to like blame a teammate. Like okay, like we definitely lost because like this kid can't dribble or something, right? It's like dude, like you need to like pick up your socks kind of thing, and like I didn't want to have that kind of excuse.
Mhm.
Whereas whenever you like for individual sports, right? If you lose, it's really kind of on you. Like you could be like, oh, like I didn't have the right training, but at the same time, you get what you put into it. So I think it's more rewarding when you win, but also more like humbling when you get defeated. But
Yeah. It's funny because like when I was a kid, I actually thought it was cool, like girls who played soccer. I always thought it'd be kind of cool if like I was really good at soccer or something, and
I
but
honestly think you're
soccer
too
is
short.
hard. What? Why do you have to be tall to play
I
soccer?
think I think every sport, well, most sports, like if you're taller, it's just better because you can just run faster. Not faster, but
Oh,
I
you
think
can
generally like
cover more
even
distance.
sprinters are generally taller than like you don't see someone who's like 5 foot. At least I don't think. I'm pretty sure most people are actually like deceptively tall, except I think like shot put and stuff. Like they're generally smaller. But I think
Yeah.
like speaking about like being just naturally fit, I think it's also because both Katie and I are, I'd say like we're like leaner built.
Oh
So
yeah.
like stuff like rock climbing, right? Like or just climbing things. Like I've never really had any issues with it. Like I don't have to train too much to do like a pull up and stuff. Like it was just something like I feel like I've always been able to do it. Like obviously I can't be like, oh, I'm just gonna give you like 20 pull ups, right? But like I've always been at least able to do like 4 or 5, just like without any training kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it's just easier to like do rock climbing because we recently went rock climbing. Well, not recently anymore, but maybe a couple months ago we went rock climbing and it just felt pretty like natural. Like you didn't really have to train
I've
for it,
only
I
been
guess.
rock climbing once, and I will say it's harder than it looks.
I guess it also depends on like your upper body strength, right? But
Oh, I have
yeah,
none. Like in terms of like if we're doing a hike or something or biking, I
yeah,
can definitely generally keep up and I'm pretty good at that. People are usually surprised that I'm like so
because you're small.
fit. But like yeah, I don't know. Damn, I was gonna say something. What the hell? I forgot. Let me think. What were you talking about? Team sports stuff. Oh, basically you're talking about tall people, but I mean, I don't really know. This doesn't really relate, but I always thought it was weird when I watched the Olympics that have you noticed? So there's the like sprint events where it's like the actually I don't know the distances. Maybe it's like 500 meters or something. Like
I
the
don't think 500 meters would be a sprint. I'm pretty sure it goes 100, 200, 400, and then multiples of 400.
oh, I honestly don't know. But there's like the sprint races, but then there's also the like more endurance ones in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I thought it was so fascinating when I noticed that like the sprint runners, their build is so different from the long distance ones. Like the ones who sprint, like how do you say his name? Usain Bolt. But like, dude, like their thighs and their calves, they're so like they're big. But then you look at the endurance runners, and those guys are all super super lean. I just think it's so interesting.
Oh, I've never really noticed that. But I
Mhm.
think one of the fun things, well, not fun, but like, I think it is Usain Bolt, but his 200-meter dash is faster than his 100-meter sprint. Like in the sense, like, um, if you multiply the time of his 100 meters like times two, it's actually slower than his 200-meter one because like it's something weird where like you just can't hit max speed in 100 meters kind of thing. Like it just
It's
like
not enough distance.
yeah, but like that's why it's like 200 meters is faster than his 100 meters, which is pretty interesting. But
Oh, I
I mean,
never
I'm
knew
never
that.
gonna get that fast. So,
Not even close.
yeah,
But yeah, if you ever have a chance, like it's just super interesting. The next Summer Olympics, like
yeah,
if you
this
just
year.
look, is it? Oh no, it's been delayed to next year.
Yeah, but it was 2020 Summer Olympics, right?
I
Tokyo.
don't really watch the Summer Olympics. It's kind of because Canada sucks at the Summer Olympics. We're pretty good in the
Canada sucks in
winter.
the winter. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we do have some good stuff.
I'm pretty sure we actually didn't we win the 2010 ones like overall, both in terms of most medals and also most gold, I think.
Oh, I wouldn't remember. I doubt it though. I doubt Canada's number one in like anything. I
Wow,
just feel like the states
Matthew,
would
you have
always
so
just
little
no.
faith.
I just feel like the states would just be better at least. And there's a lot of like so the reason why Canada does well in the Winter Olympics is because we actually have snow and stuff, right? Like if you're from Kenya and stuff, you're not gonna have like ski slopes to practice on, right? So like that's why in Winter Olympics like we have an advantage. It's just because we have mountains and we also have snow. But like in the Summer Olympics, like obviously like everyone can compete, right? Because you can run literally anywhere, right? But that's why we don't do as well. But I doubt Canada was first. I'm gonna look that up. 2010, because that
I'm
was the
pretty
Vancouver
sure,
one.
yeah, it was our Vancouver Olympics. We definitely broke records. I think that at the time, I think we've broken it since then. Like we definitely had like the most records, or no, sorry, the most medals or most gold or something at the time than we had before in previous Olympics. But
I would believe that we got the most compared to previous, but I'm actually kind of sad I didn't actually do much of the Olympic stuff when I was there.
did you
In overall
not?
medal count, Canada finished third with 26 medals.
What about golds?
It was a record-breaking Olympic winter, which won 14. Oh yeah, so most gold medals
Yeah.
won by a single nation in an Olympic Winter Games.
I knew there was something. We definitely like
Yeah,
we
but
were
like I said, there's no way we won because also Russia I know is really good in winter. I think
which
just
makes
because like
sense.
Russia also has snow. Like really, we're just competing against other countries that have snow.
Okay, but to be fair, it's not like all of Canada is snow everywhere, you know. We don't actually ride polar bears up here.
You don't ride polar bears.
Hey, if anyone, I would be first to. I love animals. Okay, but not in a weird way. Damn it, Matthew!
Clip that. I love animals. Yes, Katie. I've always known. One of the things Katie told me before we were even close friends, it was a really awkward conversation. I was like,
No,
okay, I can.
it wasn't. You made up some weird things just
I
because I was
would.
questioning how dragons like mate in Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
okay? I just wanted to
Yeah.
know how they make babies.
Yeah.
It's a genuine out of curiosity because I think in
Yeah.
Game of
Because
Thrones
these
weren't they all
fictional
males?
animals, how would they do it? You know? Yeah. I assume the same way like lizards do, but I don't know.
How do lizards?
I don't know either. I'm
What
gonna assume.
the? Why did
I
you
don't know.
say that?
I mean, I'm just saying that because like dragons and lizards look the same, or like similar. Obviously, without the wings.
Matthew, whatever. I guess I don't know. The last thing I remember I'm supposed to talk about is my story about
Yeah,
gyms.
your gym story. Katie's a freaking gym expert.
Basically, I have really never like I've never worked out like properly like at a gym like normal people do when they say they go to gym or they work out or whatever. I've been once as like a +1 with my mom, and that time I went with her and I literally didn't know how to use half of the equipment, and there was one thing I think it was like, "Oh, this machine's for your abs." And I'm like, how is this for your abs? Isn't it for your arms? Like, how do I get this to be for my abs? My mom's like, dude, that's not how you use it. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I just
I'd say like the first couple times I went to the gym, I definitely went with like friends, and they kind of taught me how. And also, you can kind of look at other people who are doing it, and they kind of learn that way. But yeah, I think it's definitely more comfortable to go with a friend for your first couple times just to learn how to use the machines. Also, because you can learn how to use the machine, but also just changing the weights. Like certain ones aren't as intuitive, if that makes sense. But yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Like
That's
just like
like,
adjusting the heights of machines. That's what I mean. Like obviously like pulling out the stupid pin and putting it in like a heavier weight, that's easy. But like to readjust certain things is like I have no idea what to press. But yeah.
oh my God. Wait, there's this one machine at the gym. It's like a bar up top and it's like one bar and then the sides sort of tilt down this way and
Yeah.
you're supposed to
It's
like
for your
pull
back,
it.
right?
I don't know.
That sounds like it's for your back.
But like yeah, you sit and then you're supposed to sit and like pull it like this, right?
You're kind of freezing, but you pull it to the front. You don't pull it behind you. Like
Oh really?
it's like you pull it to your chest. Yeah. Because then it kind of squeezes your back, and like I don't know what that muscle is called, but it's kind of also like I don't know. I'm not even gonna
Can
try
you
to.
not also pull it behind you? I'm sure
Why
that's
the frick
working
would you pull it
something.
behind you? Your arms would break.
No, like so
Like,
you're pulling from up top down, right?
yeah, like so like, the way I actually learned with like my best friend, and like, you kind of lean back a bit too. So like when you pull it back, like the bar comes down to your chest, like so your face is further back out. Because like if you
People
pull it
would
like this way, you
definitely
can't.
laugh at me at the
Yeah,
gym.
because you can't do that. Like it just hurts so badly. I think. I don't know. I've never tried it, but also there are generally now pictures like on the machine.
Oh, are there?
At least the ones at UTM, they kind of show you the proper form. But yeah.
I just remember, I think one time I tried to use that machine and I think the weight was set too heavy and I literally I went up instead of the bar going down.
That also just means you didn't actually like put your legs in properly, because you can actually tighten it so that your legs don't move as much.
I didn't.
Like when you sit on the chair, you can move the front part. It's kind of like when you sit in like amusement park, it kind of like goes down, so like you won't jump up. But yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was just the bench that you sit on, the one that I was at, and then you just do this with the arms. But yeah, that's a totally different thing. But I just remember that I thought that machine would be easy to use, but yeah.
Just stick with dumbbells then. Dumbbells, you can't really go wrong.
I can only lift like honestly anything beyond like 5 pounds gets a little heavy to
I
do like
remember.
multiple reps of.
No, I remember we were talking, and I was telling Katie,
Rice.
yeah, I don't think you can lift 100 pounds. And Katie's like, no, I can't. I have to lift a bag of rice. I'm like, a bag of rice is like at least the ones I'm buying are 8 kilograms, so like 16 pounds. And like the heaviest bag of rice I think is like 20 kilograms, so it'll be like 44 pounds. So it's definitely you won't be able to lift 100 pounds.
Yeah, I've definitely also told Matt this before. I realized like I'm not as strong as I thought because like okay, when I was with my ex-boyfriend, I thought that, in case of like a fire or something, if he got knocked out or something, we were like, I think I could drag your body, like, out of the fire. So he didn't believe me. So then he's like, you know what? Let's test it out. So he he lied down like he was dead and he didn't move. And then I tried to pull him and I honestly couldn't move him at all.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. You don't realize how heavy things are until you actually start using them. I mean, when I first started like doing biceps and stuff, 20 pounds is what I started with because it looked pathetic because I mean, obviously you go to the gym, everyone else is like going crazy and I'm like, dude, these 20 pounds are killing me. But like consistency is definitely key. Like by the end, like I could probably do like 35s like comfortably. And like I think like for my build, like that's kind of where I want to be at anyways. I don't know if I can do it now just because I haven't done anything since all the gyms closed. But I mean, it's nice to see kind of like progression.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. I will say it is nice to see results.
Yeah.
Which is, see, like when I run, like I like to time myself, and I mean, it makes me feel crappy when I get slower, but if I'm able to like beat my previous times, it does make me feel better. Matt just runs like aimlessly and he doesn't time them or anything.
You can't be like, oh, he just runs aimlessly, like I'm an idiot, right? But like I time myself, well, not time myself, but I measure distance. So like I know that this trail that I'm gonna run on is 4 kilometers. And especially now because I've run it a couple times, I know like where I'm at. So like I know like this is around like 2 kilometers. So like also because when I run, I don't run all like the entire time. I normally do stop. So like I just kind of gauge it that way. So I'll be like, okay, this time I'm not going to stop until I get to like this portion of the trail. But I'll say like it hasn't been going very well just because I'm really, I think it is definitely a mental thing. Just so hot and gross and like it just, everything just feels awful after maybe the first 2 kilometers. I already feel like terrible. But I think next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to try running a shorter like loop. So like a 1 kilometer loop and just keep running that loop over and over again. So then at least I have more like control, if that makes sense. Because when I was training for the Sun Run, I was running a track. So 400 meters every time. And then I could just make myself a goal. Like I'm going to run 15 laps before I stop. And I just felt like that was easier because I had a goal. So like I'm hoping if I just do like a smaller loop and be like, okay, I'm gonna run this like 4 times, it'd feel better. But
I mean, like for me personally, I don't like treadmill running. I don't like track running. Like I just feel like a hamster or something. And I just feel like, for me, I have to go on a nice route. Even the short loop I usually do, running it twice, I was like, man, I hate this. I like to do just one nice route where I'm not like repeating things, which is why I like to run in the park through the trails. I sort of know like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. But also like definitely having goals is good because it keeps you like motivated in a way. But I also think achievements are important because it makes you feel better. Like, so for running, that's sort of why like I like to time myself because if I do improve, I feel better. And then like on Strava, which I use to track my runs, I recently saw that you can join challenges on there, and if you complete them, it's kind of dumb, but it's still like it feels like an achievement. If you complete like this challenge, you get a trophy on your profile that says like you completed this challenge. For example, run a 5K run in June. I did that one and now I've got a little badge on my thing. I don't know, it's kind of like it's a small thing, but it just feels kind of nice, like you accomplished something even if it's something small. I joined the freaking 10K for July, but as a challenge, I don't know, man. 10K is really 10K. It's basically an hour straight of running, which is a lot.
Yeah, and especially when you run that long, I think it's important that you have like I assume you run with water, right? Like you run? I think 10K you definitely need water. Like I'm not joking. Like because even now when I go on my runs, I still run with water because I remember I think one time I was practicing for the 10K and I just got so thirsty. Like it all of a sudden just hit me where I was like, I need water. Like I can't
Like my throat felt very dry. Like I couldn't really talk. And I don't know, recently when I do presentations too, sometimes it gets to the point where my voice just feels so dry that I need to drink water. So like I always now also have water when I present. But yeah, it's just one of those weird things where like I feel fine until all of a sudden, like I just know I'm dry.
I don't know, usually because I don't like to carry things when I'm running, so I just
Yeah,
go with my phone and my like AirPods,
yeah,
but and I don't carry
fancy
anything, so
girl with AirPods.
usually I'll drink some water maybe before my run, but then I won't drink until like obviously when I'm done my run, and I do my runs generally continuously, so like I'll run the whole thing without stopping until I'm done because I know that if I stop to walk, I'm going as soon as I do that, I'm gonna just keep on stopping to walk because
Yeah,
that's how I used to be in high school. So my goal is like if I am ever running, like I have to keep running until I'm done running. Except was it last week when I did a 5K run for 5 point something, and then the next day I did one just over 6K. So I actually ran like 11K last week. And that one, like Matt knows where I live. There's this one huge ass, like a steep hill. It's hard. That one I could not. Obviously, I couldn't run the whole thing. Like I had to
mm.
actually walk up parts of it because it was just like too much. Even walking up that, like your heart is like
I mean,
going.
I'll be honest. I think that's probably at least like a 60-degree or 70-degree incline, maybe 60. It's a pretty steep hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, even walking up that incline is pretty tough. But like I think I mentioned this to Matt, but back when I was doing my internship, my dad used to drop me off at the SkyTrain, which is our transit, well, part of our transit system every morning. And
Yeah.
I would literally see this old man almost every morning on the way there. We would pass him going down this hill, and he would be biking up that hill. This man looked like he was in his 70s, like possibly 80s. Like it was this 70, 80-year-old white man on a bike. He was going up this hill. I don't even know how it was physically possible for him. Like he was
Yeah.
biking up the hill, and it's very freaking steep. Like I don't know how he's able to do that. He must be so freaking
Yeah.
fit.
I would definitely walk up with my bike. There's no way I would bike up that hill. I mean, just the burn would kill me.
Yeah,
Like
like
my legs burning. Like, yeah.
I just don't even know. Like even for someone who's like I don't know. I'm just in awe of him. But anyways, surprisingly, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to exercise. I told you.
Yeah, I guess we have more. I mean, we didn't even talk about your calories burned per person. I think that
or
was because you
really
were
my
saying,
Fitbit.
okay, like your Fitbit, what your heart rate zones,
Okay, I'll get into it
peak.
later. Let's just tell my God,
Oh yeah, your gym.
yeah. Basically, I have never been one to go to the gym, and honestly, like I personally just don't enjoy exercising with other people because I get really sweaty and gross, and I don't like being around other people when I feel like I look gross.
I mean,
So, yeah.
be honest, you're pretty gross most of the time.
Matt! God, he's so mean.
Just kidding, damn.
um, so anyways, was it last year or the year before? Anyways, a while back, I got some offer
So
for like
funny.
a free trial for a gym membership at Good Life Fitness, and I got like somehow a thing. It was like a free trial
So
for
funny.
3 months to go to this like
I
basically a
thought it was
3 month.
1 month.
I think it was three. It doesn't matter. It was like for some period of time basically like a free membership. So I was like, oh, okay, well, if it's free, I might as well just like, it doesn't hurt, right, to go. So I go to this gym and I'm like, hey, I have this deal thing. Like I want this free membership. And then the lady at the front counter is like, oh yeah, sure. Just you'll just go talk to this guy in a second. He's busy right now. Wait like 5 minutes and he can come help you out. And I'm like, all right. So then it's my turn to go talk to this guy, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have this free membership that I want to sign up for." he's like, oh, okay, well, let me show you around. He gives me a whole tour of the freaking gym, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then he starts talking to me about like personal trainers and everything. And he kept telling me about like, oh, the different memberships and the different like packages or whatever. There's like different levels and stuff.
Yeah.
He would not let me just get the freaking free trial. Basically, like I kept saying like, no, like I don't think I want to like sign up for like a full like membership. Like I really just like want to do this trial. But he was like, no, like, you're at a good age. I got my first personal trainer when I was around your age. Like, he asked me how old I was and stuff. Literally, he would not. I said a couple times, like, no, I think, like, right now, I just want to do, like, this free trial. But he was like, dude, he would not let me just do the trial. So I ended up buying a 1-year membership and also, like, a personal trainer package, so it was like $300. And then I walked out of there like, what the hell? I just wanted the free trial. And my sister was also in the car waiting this whole time. It took like an hour. And so that's what happened. And then because of that, I actually never used my free trial because I didn't want to go back.
I wonder if he gets commission. I wonder if that's why like they're so
like
adamant.
He was so pushy. I literally said multiple times that I just wanted my free trial, but like he would not. And then I just kind of, obviously, I don't know. So then like he wouldn't give it to me until I bought the freaking package. So I did. So I also got the free trial, but then I never went back after that because I was like,
Also, I think it was definitely last year because you were still working. I think that's why you were always like, "Oh, I'm so tired" or something. Like you. I remember you telling me like maybe you weren't working, but you were definitely like there was a reason why you said you didn't go, and it wasn't just because that guy. But like I just remember it was just funny because you didn't go a single time during your free trial, and then you had to go back to cancel your membership and stuff, and it took so long. You had to go like call them and everything.
I'm pretty sure I had to go there like at least 2 more times in order to cancel it. Like I can't remember why, but the first time I showed up there, they're like, oh, no one here can do it. It has to be like a certain manager, and none of the managers are around. Like they're all on vacation or something. And I'm like, what the hell? Then I had to go back a second time. I was such a hassle. It was so stupid. The whole thing was so stupid. At least I got my money back.
Yeah, but that's funny. That's why you don't sign up for free memberships.
Dude, gyms are a scam. Don't fall for it.
No, that's why I'm happy I'm still a student. I mean, the gym's obviously not open now, but
yeah, but yours was free. UBC, you have to pay for it, even if you.
It's technically not free. Like you have to pay for it in your tuition.
Well, we pay tuition. We still have to pay additional. If you want to use the gym, you actually have to like pay for a separate thing.
That's probably good in the sense that then people who don't use the gym don't have to pay for it. But like back at even Simon Fraser, it was included in your tuition. So if you didn't go, it didn't matter. Like you'd still have to pay for it. But yeah.
I think your best friend told me, well, maybe it wasn't him, but someone told me that SFU was originally supposed to be called.
It was me.
Something else, but then the acronym would have been like FU.
Yeah. It was gonna be called Fraser University because it was like Simon Fraser is a person, right? But yeah, there would just been FU.
That's funny. You could say I went to FU.
Yeah, but I think it's smart. I mean, if you want to be taken seriously, I don't think your initials should be.
That's true. The other thing is, literally since quarantine started, basically I sort of started working on my abs just like at home by following like YouTube videos back at the very beginning of the year, but I wasn't like super consistent with it, basically because originally I was supposed to go to Mexico with my ex. Well, he wasn't my ex-boyfriend at the time, but we were supposed to go to Mexico, and obviously like, I just wanted to like look better for it. So I sort of started working on my abs back in January, but I wasn't really consistent, and I definitely fell off like after the breakup and everything. And then I guess like when quarantine really started is when I actually started exercising at home, like just doing like YouTube workouts, and I was running a bit, but then Matt knows I stopped for like a month.
Yeah, I think it was funny because he was like, "Oh, good for you. You're like starting to exercise and stuff." And then all of a sudden, she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do." I think it was like Chloe Ting's workout or something, and she
Yeah.
was like pretty consistent. And then like literally all of a sudden, it was just like, "Yeah, no, it's just completely gone." Like 180, she's back to like not doing anything. But yeah,
I think it was just that, like, for some reason, one day I didn't do it. Maybe I was tired, or like, who knows? Like, for some reason, I just didn't do it. And then it's just like that day, once I stopped, I just stopped for like a few weeks.
did you exercise for the month?
But then, like, literally ever since I got my Fitbit, I've been very consistent. I think it does help. Although
Yeah.
I was talking to Matt earlier, and because I've literally been wearing it nonstop for like almost has it been 3 weeks? Like a while. Like I've been wearing it constantly. I noticed that like the skin under where I wear my Fitbit has been getting kind of weird, which is a little bit concerning. So I got
Mhm.
scared and I stopped sleeping with it 2 nights ago just to give it a break. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop wearing it to sleep to see if it sort of gets better. It's a little bit
I mean, you can
concerning.
also take it
Like,
off
what
right
if
now.
it's
There's,
giving me cancer? There's like
I
a
doubt.
laser or something. Like, did you see when I took it off?
Well,
There's
yeah,
like a
but it
green.
was like a what, a green light, right?
Yeah.
Should be fine. Yeah, if it was like blue light or something, like if it goes that direction, then it's more dangerous.
What do you mean?
Blue light's closer to like UV radiation. Like UV is like it's just like when you go to like the blue, it's just higher energy. It's like red ones are like microwaves and stuff. Like they're not like you can walk. Like radio waves and stuff are longer, so like they don't actually hurt you. But X rays and like UV, they're on the other side where they're shorter wavelengths. Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember this, but anyways. um yeah, but also like, and I've started running consistently as well. Like I think I've actually gone, or at least like when I started running, I've been running at least once a week for the last like 6 weeks now, I think. And then like in the last few weeks I've increased like length, and
Mhm.
like last week, like I ran 11K, which I was pretty happy with.
Yeah.
um like this week the weather was crappy, but I like the day I was gonna go for a run, it was literally downpouring, and I knew if I didn't go that day, I was busy the rest of the week, so I wouldn't
Mhm.
go this week. So I forced myself. We have an old treadmill, and I took that out. Oh man, running 5K on that was awful, but I did it.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. Commendable. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing that I was talking to Matt about is just that, like, for me, I feel like this is the most fit I've been in my entire life, basically, both health-wise in terms of exercise, but also like my physical body. Like, I feel like I have more definition, obviously, because like I've never worked out before, but I have been doing like ab exercises and stuff. So I feel good. And I actually just realized, like, personally, that I think health is really important, and I think exercise is a big part of that. Like, cardio fitness is very important. So I just kind of, I mean, I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this up for, but we'll see. Like, obviously, like right now I'm not working or anything, so it's easy to exercise.
Mhm.
That's basically all I do. But like, yeah, I don't know. Once I start working, it'll be hard to fit in.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those things where you have to make it into your schedule. So either like you wake up early and do some exercise before you go to work or like after work and stuff. But I think it definitely, you just have to stay committed, which I think is definitely the hard part. Because when you're so busy, it's just kind of feels out of the way, especially if you're running outside. That's why a gym is good in the sense that it's indoors, right? Like the climate is kind of controlled, but you're not gonna run if it starts snowing or if it starts raining. And like Vancouver rains quite a bit, so it's not like it's consistent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, like, my goal is, like I told Matt, my goal is to run 100K this year, 100 kilometers this year. And I actually want to get that done by the end of summer, because realistically, like, yeah, the weather's gonna get worse, and I'm not gonna run in the rain, and definitely not in the snow. How can you even run in the snow? But yeah, I mean, I'm halfway there. I'm at 50 kilometers right now, and realistically, I'm pretty sure if I run 5K, at least 5K a week for the next, how many weeks are left?
10.
Are there?
Like you'll need 10 weeks if you want to get 50K. 5 times 10 is 50.
Or maybe I have to run a little bit more than 5K a week then.
Yeah, because
But
we have what, 7 weeks before the end of summer, 7 or 8.
well, anyway, we'll see. That's my goal. I mean, I still find exercising really hard. Like, I hate myself. Actually, wait, it depends. Because hiking is exercise, but I actually enjoy hiking. Like, it's basically just like walking.
Same.
Walking up a
Yeah.
mountain usually. But like, it's not hard, but it's good exercise, and I don't hate myself while I'm doing it. Like, I enjoy it. But like, home workouts and running, I hate myself the whole time. And it's just like afterwards I feel good that I made myself exercise, but like while I'm doing it, I'm like, when is this over?
I think just hiking is also just nice because you're in nature, and obviously if it's a nice day, and I really do miss mountains right now. Like I really want to have a view. I mean, when everything's flat, even if you're hiking, like yeah, you can be like, oh wow, this tree's really nice, and but you don't see any like waterfalls. You don't see any, like you just don't see a vantage. Like there's just no viewpoint that you're going for. It's just like wow, look, it's the lake, and then like you walk to the other side, it's like it's still a lake. But when you go on hiking and you go up a mountain, you can actually see the different cities as well. I mean, like Simon Fraser's on a mountain, right? So there are certain viewpoints up there. So like when you look down, it's like, oh wow, like I can actually see downtown Vancouver, and it's like, oh, like there's Burnaby and stuff. Like it's just nicer. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm pretty sure if you ever look up like, oh, places to visit in like Canada or something, most of the places that are recommended are in BC, because BC is just so beautiful. Like there's so much to do outdoors. Like they really recommend, like, a lot of the destinations are in BC. But in terms of hikes, like BC is super nice, but also like far east, like Nova Scotia and stuff, like where the lighthouses are,
yeah.
those hikes, I know I didn't get to do one. I'm so sad. Like I really do want to go back one day, but they're also very nice. It's also a totally different vibe out there.
Yeah, I've heard. I do also want to go out to the very east, but yeah, it's just gonna take some time to plan everything. Also rent a car.
Yeah. Do you think the health aspects of working out are worth it? I don't know. I think it's important, but it is hard.
I think it's one of those things where you don't really see the benefits really, right? I mean, you go for a run, your cardio is better, and like you get a lower risk of heart disease, but you can't really notice that, if that makes sense. I guess yeah, but I mean, I think it is definitely worth it. Like even you said, like just physically when you look at yourself, if you feel happier with how you look, then I think it does make you feel better as a person. I'd say like when I was going to the gym, like I did notice a difference, right? I did think I looked better. Like when I came back in December, I think this is the first year where my parents were like, "Oh man, you look so skinny. Like, are you eating and stuff?" My dad was actually like, "Oh, like I think you got bigger." I'm like, "I did, thank you." Like it was like, but yeah, like it was just, yeah, it's nice to see a difference. But yeah, I think it goes the other way. Like now, if you lose it, then it's like, ah, you feel bad again. But
Oh, yeah. I mean, any sort of like regression feels bad, but definitely like progress feels really good. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous episode though, like how, like for my abs, I've been working on them, and definitely like there's a difference from now from when I very first, like before I started working on them. But then at a certain point, like it does feel like I've hit a wall and I'm not seeing any more definition come in. So
protein.
like is that like, I don't know how to make it progress further. Literally protein?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Like I've not really had much issue, but
Also, like, is it technically easier for guys to get abs than for women to develop it?
I
'Cause,
think so.
yeah, it's so freaking hard. I've been working my abs almost every day for the last like month, and like I don't know, it's I'm like, I really feel like I've hit a wall.
Maybe you're just not working hard enough. I think you should double your ab workouts.
I was doing them twice a day for a while.
Yeah. So now you got to do it 4 times a day. Double your workout and see if it
That's
increases.
literally 40 minutes straight on abs a day.
Yeah, that's nothing. You want to get that 6-pack?
Man, but yeah, the other thing is, like Matt said, obviously having a Fitbit's not 100% accurate, but it sort of gives you a sense of like how many calories you're burning. And I will say, I don't understand. It's so hard to burn calories. Dude, you eat one cookie and that's like 300 calories. Do you know how long it takes to burn off 300 calories? On an average day where I
don't eat a cookie.
like on a sedentary day where maybe all I do is take my dogs for a short walk, I seem to burn about like 1,600 calories.
It's a full day.
Yeah, like including like that I like, because your Fitbit also keeps track of like what you need just to exist. So it sort of keeps track of like even when you're sleeping or like not doing anything, you're burning calories. So a full day is about 1,600 calories if it's like a sedentary day. But even on an active day, it's so hard. Like my goal is set to like 2000 and I don't know why. That was the default, 2006 calories. That was the default and I just left it, but I definitely less than 50% of the time reach 2006 calories unless I really did a lot of exercise that day.
I think one of the positives though is just because, like, I mean, obviously you should watch how many calories you are eating. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm just gonna keep eating. But you don't absorb all the calories, right? At least I'm pretty sure. So like, even if you eat a cookie that's 300 calories, you're not directly absorbing 300 calories, I don't think. So like, that's something to consider. But at the same time, don't be like, oh, I'm not absorbing all of it. I'm gonna eat like 4 of them, because like you will still absorb quite a lot, right? But it's just, yeah, it's just one of those things where you can't, like, calorie counting is very difficult, I think.
No, it's also, I think it's very easy to fall into if you get into calorie counting. It can become like sort of toxic very quickly, if depending. I think for most people though, because like you just get obsessed and then you're like, no, I literally can't eat that. Like that's too many calories. And then like it just gets a little bit, because I knew someone back in high school who she developed an eating disorder from that because she started obsessing over calories and stuff, and then she, as soon as she ate something, she literally had to go burn it off. So she'd like go for a run, and yeah, it wasn't very good. I didn't really know how to help her, but yeah.
I think it's a lot of like mental thing. Like I've never had issues with eating. Like I love eating too much to stop. Like
I also have a problem where I have no self-control and I'll end up eating like 3 ice cream bars. I kind of want one right now.
I mean, okay, like I'll say I'm way better than Katie in that regard, but I mean, I just never really had an issue. Like if I want to eat something, like I obviously still take into account what I eat. Like I'm not eating fish and chips every day, right? Because it's like I know that's unhealthy. But I mean, I wouldn't mind going for fish and chips every now and then. It's like like a snack. Well, not like a snack.
So like I'm trying to watch what I eat more now, but some days I definitely, if I eat like 3 ice cream bars, I'm like, well, I definitely went too far. But it's just like even though I generally am trying to be better and healthier, I'm not gonna stop myself from eating like, oh no, I'm not gonna eat that. Like I'm not gonna eat chips once in a while just because it's like not good for you. Like I still want to enjoy life. I still want to enjoy what I eat, you know? So also like I think I mentioned this to Matt, but like on Fitbit there's like a community forum thing, and you can see like some people post like, oh, these are my stats for today. And I was just so confused because I saw like a couple of people, they would post their stats and it would be like they walked maybe about like the same as I did one day, which was like, I don't know, like 20K, like it's an intense exercise day. But they burn like freaking like 4,000 calories. And I'm like, how did you burn 4,000 calories? I walked about the same, but I only burned like just over 2,000. Like I think the most I burned in a day is like 2,600 calories. I'm like, how is this possible? Is it like, I don't understand how calories burned works. If you're bigger or something, do you burn more calories? Or like, is it easier to burn more calories? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I really wouldn't know. Maybe like their workout was different. right? Like if you walk 5 kilometers versus sprinting 5 kilometers, like you're definitely gonna burn different amounts of calories. Like obviously you're not gonna sprint 5 kilometers, but like if you do like
That's where heart rate zones come in, Matthew. There's peak, there's cardio, and then there's fat burn, and then there's like the one that's below and you're not, which is like sedentary basically.
but yeah, I mean maybe that was the difference. Maybe they ran hard for those 20 kilometers. They did it in an hour.
I don't know, man. It's heart rate zones are weird, but
I think well, it's because like most of those things are like man-made constructs, right? Like
okay, but everything basically is time is.
Like, yeah, I guess. But yeah.
Seasons are too.
Makes sense though.
I mean, like everything that we talk about is
Fine.
man-made.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I think that sort of wraps up our exercise episode. Oh, did I mention though? Like I've been trying to hike more lately because I do enjoy. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not.
I don't remember either.
I just choked on my own spit.
God, you're so embarrassing.
I've been trying to hike more. Although like this is the worst summer weather we've had in Vancouver. I don't know what it's like. It has not been sunny lately. I've been getting
I don't think that's
rain.
the worst. I mean, like the past couple of years, there's been a bunch of forest fires.
No, so I mean, in terms of like for summer, usually you think like sun, right? But we haven't been getting a lot of sun. We've been getting a lot. I don't mean like definitely forest fires are bad, but I think like when you think summer, you think sun, and like we've just been getting a lot of rain. Like it's not summer weather lately, even though
I honestly
like,
wouldn't mind a bit of rain right now. I'm so hot and so miserable. I mean, if I could get like a 13-degree day, I think I would be very happy. And honestly, like the past couple of years, I would say even Vancouver, when it's really sunny and stuff, I just remember that the fire, I think it was maybe like 2-3 years ago. I think it was when I was still working at my co-op. Yeah, where you could actually see the air was definitely smoky.
Yeah, you could smell the forest fire, even though they're from way up north. Yeah, I know. The last couple of years were really bad for forest fires. Like that's the one thing. Like obviously, it's good this year because of the rain, and it hasn't been really sunny. Like as far as I know, there aren't really any forest fires, which is good. I mean, we don't need to add to all the other world problems in 2020, but like that is the good thing. But it is just strange. So I'm just saying, like, compared to the last couple of years where it's been really, really sunny, like this summer's been really weird.
It's because the last couple of years has been weird because it's been sunny. Do you know what I mean? I think Vancouver summers are always pretty bad. Like at least like there's always quite a lot of rain, but the last couple summers hasn't rained as much.
I don't know. I kind of maybe I just got used to it. Like I always thought that our summers were pretty sunny and decent.
I don't know. I mean, everyone always thinks Vancouver is like the rainy, miserable place. So
like it generally is year round, but like usually I think our summers are pretty nice. But this summer it's been weird. Like it was literally raining on Canada Day.
I honestly think we've just been lucky that it hasn't been raining the past couple.
But it's weird. Like today was hot. It was like 24 degrees or something. Not as hot as Toronto apparently, but like it was hot today. And then like a couple of days ago, it was literally raining. It was cold as heck. I was wearing hoodies and I was wearing a down vest on top. Like it was cold.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's also your own old woman bones.
Yeah. I actually don't know if I'm going to make it to like 60 at this rate.
I hope we do.
Me too. But yeah.
Maybe when we retire, we can restart the podcast.
It'd be a fun thing to do when you're retired, to be honest. What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that pretty much wraps up this week. It's been a long episode this week, which I get to edit, so that's fun.
Yay.
It'll make up for, was it episode 4?
4. Yeah. But like, I'm starting to hear the birds.
Your birds come out really early.
Yeah, they're early birds, but that's when I know it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah. You know what? Since I've been waking up early the last 2 days, maybe I can actually correct my schedule, but I've been saying that for a while. So we'll see.
I think that's actually, you should try to correct it now. I mean, I think it's still kind of ridiculous.
I am actually going to try.
Yeah, like I think obviously I don't think you should wake up at 7:30 or 8:30, but like I think before 10 a.m. is actually like I think that's socially acceptable.
I'm actually gonna try. Like after we hang up, I'm probably gonna shower and maybe go to bed. Because tomorrow my goal is I did not end up working on my website this week, so I actually need to do that. Like I'm gonna work on it this week during the day is the goal, and fix my resume. And because I actually need to apply for that job. No one on the podcast knows what we're talking about, but I'll just cut this out, I guess, or I won't.
Yeah, but everybody caught. You can also work on this podcast, which I assume will take you like a day.
Oh no, I have a lot of stuff on my plate.
There's no rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I guess that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed listening. Anyone who's listening, no one's listening.
Yeah, it was fun. I can't wait for episode 7 where we're gonna talk about one of these topics.
Yeah,
Tune
I
in
hope
next week.
we're able to keep up with being healthy and exercising. And yeah, I wonder if in 5 years or whatever, when we listen to this, if I'll still be using my Fitbit.
I highly doubt you'll still be using your Fitbit like consistently. I don't think your Fitbit's even gonna last 5 years. I don't know the
Good point.
lifespan of a Fitbit, but
Yeah. Anyway, like good talk about exercise. It was a long talk.
Yeah.
See you guys next week. I don't know what we'll talk about next week, but
we'll talk about something fun. Maybe. I don't know.
okay, bye.
Bye-bye.